Well, shoot. Why is it grabbing display and not VR chat? It is grabbing VR chat. Oh, wait, I have to do spout. Spout. This one? No. This one? This one? Ah, yes, I have to do that. There we are. What's up, Chad? What's up? It's another desktop Andy today. I hope that's okay with you. As you know, my cord died, so can I just say, first of all, thank you guys for all the support before I go down my woe is me. Owen Lewis, thank you so much for the sub. Dude bro, thank you. Pixuo, thank you so much for the subs. We kind of had an unfortunate series of circumstances, which tends to happen in my life. We just call it Davy luck, right? And you know, we just got that place, and I was gonna go visit Chi-Chi. You guys were very generous. Thank you guys for all the donations. I think we got another donation the other day, like $80. I don't know who you are, but thank you. And then there was another one before that was like $1,000. Thank you so much. I sent that person a message thanking them very, very, very much for the huge donations. It means a lot. But it's funny, like, this happens, right? And then as soon as I'm like, yay, okay, I might be able to go see Chi-Chi, you know, because we just got that place, right? Because I can't really afford to go back and forth a lot. And my cord... it's $183 plus them tax. It's $200. $200 for this stupid card, bro. Oh my god. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to fucking do anything. I mean, I wouldn't be able to afford a cord. So thank you guys for your support. Appreciate you guys. And thank you for the Valentine's wishes and the holiday wishes. And I hope you found good times and good tidings yourself. Oh, I think they're requesting. 1 second. Let me accept here. All right, here they come. So today we got Mush, one of the new recruits from, I think they're 1A? B. 1A? B. Shit, I don't know. It's Deluke. It's B. Yeah, I know they're Ignis. They get all confused at this point. I'm just like a teacher. We only had like one class. I'm not going to remember everyone in the class, let alone the separation in which we had. God knows. We're not putting chat on screen? Oh, fuck. Thanks for reminding me. Fucking hell. Damato. Chat. Where is chat? Chat.
+1!
Thanks, John VR Mods. Woo! I thought I had it here. Did I not? All right, let's go back to the full screen. Chipz full screen. Aha. Wait, Chipz full screen works? Why does this work? Oh, because I must have a spout thing going on here. All right. If you work, you work. I mean, I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. Okay. There's no point in reinventing the damn wheel. Wait. It was bottom left game. Oh, now we got some gameception. Alright, I think this is the smooth. There we go. All is right in the world. Alright, chat is now a part of the stream. Behave, fuckers. Alright. So like I said, Mush is coming. Oh, speaking of, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Come sit. Sorry, I'm paralyzed from the waist down. I was in an accident, and yeah. You know.
That was that horrible Quidditch accident. I see. It happens.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten the card yet?
No, not yet. I looked on Amazon, and you know, first of all, they're $183, right? And second, you know, it's gonna take till March like 3rd or Why are you so close? You know, I got the camera good at the good angle. You can sit over there.
Huh?
No!
What? Huh?
Back!
What?
I'm trying to work! Car! All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. March 8th? 7th? March 8th, 7th. Yeah, 8th. Why did I say 8th or 7th? 7th or 8th or some damn thing. Sometime in March, I could get it at the earliest if I order through Amazon. I'm assuming Amazon's the only place to order the cord, right? For the index?
You might be able to get it from other places. I was able to get a Vive cord from Adorama.
What
There's
the
like a
hell is
camera,
Adorama?
it's like a camera shop.
Like a local
some
camera
physical
store? Or
stores.
is it like a digital, like, online web
Well, it's
order?
like it's a local. It has like storefronts, but it also has like you can also order online.
Oh, okay, okay. Fair. So I gotta do that, basically. And that's where my money's gotta go.
Yeah, you might need to look around to see which ones got them.
Yeah, I just gotta buy a cord.
eBay as well, maybe even.
SOL. I just need to get it done before Ascension Academy, which is right around the corner. Let's go. A lot sooner than I was anticipating. We did the meeting and I literally shot my pants when it was like, wait, we only have like a month and a week. I guess a month now. Only a month. Are you ready, Core?
Yeah.
Really? You got all your okay. Well, shit.
I'm somewhat ready. I got one of the models done. I'm trying to get some other stuff set up as well, but you know.
All right. I'm behind, I think. I don't have any clothes. I just have I'll probably end up that's me every arc, let's be honest. I only have the defaults. I was just hoping maybe a coat or something, you know. This time it's gonna be nippy out there. I'm gonna die. I'm a vampire. I'm very, you know, fragile.
Vampires are so fragile. That's right.
It's true.
Yeah, totally.
Are you
totally.
sick, Core?
I am. Yes.
Oh my god, I could hear it. You sound like shit.
Yeah, I lost my voice yesterday.
Oh my god,
It's
I'm
pretty
so
bad.
sorry. All right, well, hopefully you feel better. Way to point it out. Well, okay. Well, I pointed out. I can acknowledge it, so then they could, you know, take care of themselves. Okay, Chad.
Yeah, I've been drinking lots of Gatorade.
Good, good. Well, welcome, Mush.
Hi.
Hi. So, you know, I've had you on here once before, you know, with when we did the whole group interview and stuff. But now we're doing some one-on-ones. This is just to get to know you a little bit better. I guess honestly, question. Now I've seen Curry like talk in Discord about you or some shit. I don't, to be fair, okay, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole. I do not know who you are. I don't know really where you came from. I don't know who you really know, because I just live under my rock. But I'm assuming you know Curry in some way, and tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so I met Curry through Aether Chronicles, which is
Okay.
another roleplay that he attends to.
Right.
Aether was like my first roleplay, and I got to know him through there. And I didn't know anything about like what he does. Like I didn't know he was a streamer. I didn't know all these other things. And it
How
was just like
dare.
it was like at one day we were just hanging out. I wanted someone to hang out with, and I started talking to Curry more, and also with other friends that have been making along the way in Aether, I've just been hearing in passing like Ascension Academy. So I'm just like, oh, let me check this out, right? So yeah, I found out Curry from
Yeah, we're kind of cool.
Aether. Yeah, we're cool. Like we're good friends now. Yeah, because him and I, we've been hanging out for like almost like about a year and a half now. So we know each other pretty well.
Right. A year and a half. That's a long time. So RP.
Almost. Actually,
loves
no.
RP.
I want to say like it's probably about 2 years almost now. Yeah.
I know Curry does a lot of RP, like a lot.
He does.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Like I can barely handle one. I don't know how people can handle multiple.
Yeah, because like I'm just doing the one right now,
Yeah.
and I was supposed to be doing the second one, which is this.
Well, you have something to add to that, Core? Do you know how they do more than one? Do you have the secret sauce?
So I've just started doing Aether Chronicles roleplay as well.
Oh, okay. So now you're double dipping.
Yeah, it's starting to get pretty bad. I'm going to like 2 extra sessions of roleplay, and I'm like, oh shit.
The time is being sucked away.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot
Actually, you
of?
could probably talk about.
Talk about what?
You could probably talk about Aether Chronicles and your character there, actually.
Oh yeah, so I want to say like for almost like just about 2 years now, I've been playing one character. I've been trying to branch out other ones, but I've only been playing one character, and his name is Crimron. In fact, if you want, I can pop into that model if you want me to show him off.
I think that'd be fun.
Are we being advertised to right now? Oh my god! No, just kidding. Yes, please.
Advertised? Yeah.
No. Yeah. But yeah, this is. But yeah,
What happened
this
to
has
his
been my
pixels?
character I've been working. I know, right? Everyone always points that out. They're like, "What?" Like, it's like, did you? It's a fantasy role play, and I'm like,
It's a
yeah. You have a lot
combination.
of people who look like they're from Final Fantasy 14. I look like I'm from Final Fantasy 7 from '96, but you know.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid. You're like 1997, but like they fired the texture artist and hired their fucking kindergarten kid.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
Yeah, like
This emblem is like part from like the group that Crimron is in, the Redwall Guard.
Uh-huh.
But like it's like
Mhm.
more detailed normally, but like as soon as they slap it on him, it just get low
Yeah.
resolution.
So yeah, this is like his like almost like civilian outfit, and this thing's got like another thing. He's got his normal armor and stuff. But
You don't
yeah,
talk like the protag, like, oh my god, no, look over there.
No, actually. So the thing with Crim is that when I first started him, I was always kind of like, hey, I would play him a little bit like, what if I lived in a fantasy world, right? So like more so like what. Not to say that I'm like it's me, but it's more like like kind of how I would be like, okay, well, I wouldn't treat it too crazy, It's just like
If this is a reflection
it's like
of
okay,
you,
yeah, sure, like
I feel bad. This is really how you feel on the inside. Do we need to talk, Mush? You need to cry.
Yeah, so I'll no. All of this is like over the 2 years that I've been playing him. Like he started off like normal guy, and then I thought to myself, let's add a little bit of spice to it, right? Let's add a little bit of this, that, and the other, right? So
a little bit of spice.
but still, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, even though he's got all these like things going on with him, he's just like a normal guy. Like I always play him like a
just
normal
a
guy.
dude.
He literally is just a dude.
Yeah.
He just happens to be in the Redwall Guard, and he happens to have done like these really cool things. At the end of the day, he's just kind of like, well, it's when I want to hang out with my friends, just.
I mean, so you do a lot of role play, and so you met Curry in this specific role play then.
Yes.
Okay, now are you guys like brothers or rivals or like I don't know, what are you?
Oh, so it's funny that you mentioned that because at first, so Curry plays a character named Rayo, and Rayo and Crimron were butting heads at first, and it was because at the time, I guess they were going through like an arc where like their character was like like losing touch with things, was being very like arrogant and very full of himself, and Crimron has a friend named Torg, and Rayo threatened Torg's life. He's like, if you ever say that again, I will kill you, right? So
Wait, so that's Curry? I'm sorry, it's hard to keep the
Yeah. Rayo's Curry.
Yeah, sorry.
Rayo's Curry,
Rayo is
okay.
Curry. Torg is someone else. Yeah. So Crimron.
So Curry
marches up to Aether,
goes
'cause
like
Aether
Dark
is-
Knight, moody bitch, and threatens someone. Okay, shocked. All right.
Yeah. So he does that, and then my character confronts him in the streets of Aether. He's just kind of like, hey. It's like, you don't fucking talk to my friends like that, especially threatening their lives. Who
Right.
do you think you are? You think you're better than
Okay.
all of us because you're a mage, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they get into a fight. He's like getting up into Crim's face. He tries to strike a punch at him, and he does that fucking thing from Yakuza where he fucking headbutts the punch.
Curry headbutts your punch.
Yeah, he throws a punch at him, but then he fucking headbutts it, right? So he's like,
It sounds like Curry.
yeah. So yeah,
so
they
he
start
can
off as
take a
rivals,
right, but
after
can
a
he
while,
take a left?
Exactly. That's what I should have been like. So he,
Bam! Aha! You didn't see that one come on,
Nah.
did ya?
no. I should have hit him with the ultimate technique. Yeah. Which has been like a running joke in our roleplay for a little while.
So
Which I don't know if I. Yeah.
you guys,
but
so
besides
started
that, yeah.
off,
Mhm.
so you became frenemies, is what it sounds like.
Well, after a while, Rayo's character started calming down, and even though like he was calming down, he's just kind of like, "Oh, so I guess you still hate me after all that other stuff." And Crim's is kind of like, "No, I don't hate you. I mean, you were in a very bad spot. I learned from your friends about what happened to you. I actually feel kind of bad that I acted that way." And then they kind of started bonding a little bit after that too. So and over the years they've kind of like gone on little adventures here and there and had little things. So they became
Got
friends
it.
after the fact. So yeah.
All right,
Now,
so-
now they're bros.
So you started with this, and then Curry then egged you on to do. Okay, so how did you apply to do Ascension Academy roleplay? Like how did we get there?
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to
So,
put the whole
how did we
picture
get-
together
yeah.
here.
So this is gonna be a little complicated. So I jumped from Curry, and then from there I've heard it in the background, and on occasions he pulled out his writer model. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But it wasn't until my friends started talking about really wanting to be in this role play where I was kind of like more interested in hearing about it, because I heard that it was a closed role play. So I was like, okay, so I'm probably never going to join it.
Yeah, we
because,
don't like
they do their thing.
outsiders here, okay?
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it fully.
Just kidding.
But so from there, my friends were like, hey, there's an open role, like they're doing like an audition. Would you like to join us? I'm like, sure. So it was my friend Whiffle Sniffles, who got in. She was really been like, hey, that'd be
know
really
the
cool if you wanted
Whiffles?
to join us. And yeah, Whiffles, yeah.
Oh,
their name. I think it's
no.
Whiffles. But yeah, Whiffles was the one who actually helped me kind of like get more involved in it, and Keniz was also like responsible for it too. So Keniz and Whiffles were both like, oh yeah, we've been watching this thing for years. I think if you want to try, you can. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then when Curry heard that I was trying on joining it, he's just like, dude, yes, try out. I think you'd fit right in. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So, yeah. It was more like an amalgamation of friends talking to me about this stuff that I ended up joining it and stuff.
Right. No, I get you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so how did you come up with your character, or I guess, the other guy?
And the tryout character,
Yeah, the tryout character.
Cameron.
Oh, so Cameron, yeah. So,
Actually, since we're talking about him, can you put him back on?
yes. Get out of here, Crim.
Get out! You're
All right,
fired.
bye. Hi, everybody. No.
Kill him.
So, how I came up with this character, essentially, what I wanted to do with this character was just be a little bit more different from what I normally play,
Mhm.
which I just wanted to be a little bit more uplifting and cheerful, because Crim's usually that way, but I wanted to kind of like, maybe bump it up just a little bit, because like, this is a character who's been a little bit sheltered. So I'm like, okay, how about we just maybe make him a little bit more plucky, as I like to put it.
Okay.
And yeah, and also everything from like just trying to find a avatar for him. I just found this and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then apparently afterwards I realized, oh, apparently this character is like an edgelord
Oh yeah.
in Genshin, and I played him
You're
as a
short
fucking
Diluc.
cinnamon roll, which I thought was funny. Was
Yes. Yeah, you're the short
Short
Diluc.
Diluc.
Yep.
Yeah, short Diluc. Yeah, it's just like I was like, oh, okay, this, and I was like, it's like, really? Is he like that? And I look him up, I was like, oh shit. But anyways, yeah, the model, I just thought it looked nice, so I chose it. And
Fair.
as for like other things, like his name, I thought would be funny, where it's like I came up with the name Crimron because I was working at a place and I misspelled the name Cameron, and so I thought it'd be funny. It's like, how about this one will be Cameron, right? So that's why I thought about doing it with that one. I was thinking about doing a different character, but the more I started thinking about it, the more I'm like, let's just do something a little bit more simple and straightforward.
You were one
Because originally
right?
I wanted to make like I was 1B.
1B. Why do I keep thinking 1A?
Mhm.
Probably because I keep seeing your picture in 1A. All right, my bad. Continue.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Yeah, like so Cameron Redstone, I thought would be kind of a nice name for him because I usually play it. I kind of keep up with the whole thing. Like, no, I play a lot of characters who wear red, so why not make him Redstone? So there's that too. So, but yeah, how I came up with the character, like his like whole thing was like, okay, I would think this would be really neat, where it's like his father was more or less like like I was trying to think like who would his father be. It's like, okay, cool, his father was practically my character from the last roleplay, not actually, but like sort of like similar sort of thing where it's like, okay, his father's already done all the cool stuff and his son's heard all the cool stuff, but his father is kind of like, you're wanting to be like me? Oh boy, I don't want my cinnamon roll of a son to experience the horrors of war. So
Yeah, I get you.
just like for like a little bit of his back.
So what kind of stories do you gravitate towards? Like do you have a favorite like series or book series or television?
Well, growing up, I just like I had like an amalgamation of different stories I would read once in a while. Like I gravitated towards a lot of like just like adventures with like overcoming obstacles. Like it's like I hate to say it's like a bit of a generic thing, but like
Right.
like when it came to like manga and stuff, I was really interested into like people overcoming their shortcomings and stuff like that. Other stories I liked hearing about were just like people like despite everything smacking them down, they refused to lay down and kind of stuff. So with Cameron, it's like despite everything that he went through, he's trying his best to kind of like keep that thing alive, because I wanted him to have something from his father where it was pretty much like his father told him, no matter what happens, I want you to stay you. Don't let this world change who you are, that kind of thing, right? Sure, a bit cheesy, but I like that. Yeah.
What we're going up against.
All right. So just to get an idea, favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero has to be Captain America.
If
we're talking like Marvel stuff.
I mean, that's a good one.
It makes sense.
I mean, that is a good one. A good old boy trying his best. Just kind of comes from a rough background. Has got something to prove, but still isn't gonna let it get to his head. Yeah. So you like the morally straight characters?
Yeah, I like. I mean, more or less, I like being.
So
good
snarky
guy,
asshole
essentially.
like
Maybe he
Tony
might have to make
Snark,
it up.
whose goals may seem a little bit gray and ambiguous. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like. Yeah, because like even with other like role play stuff I've had where it's just like the character he's trying to do the right thing, and sometimes the right thing isn't the easiest thing. Sometimes doing the right thing is not the most popular thing, but someone's got to do it.
You'll be murdered by your own friends.
Wait, there's not even that
Possibly.
many characters like that currently in AA, right?
The last one just got taken by the enemy and then left there to rot for a while.
Yeah. Hoshi's in the like that section though. But I don't think.
Yeah, but you don't. Hoshi doesn't. What's the word? If you try to stop the machine of corruption, that's when you get trampled. Hoshi hasn't stood in the way of the train yet. As soon as you do, though, then enemies will form. No longer are you cute Hoshi. You will just be a bump on the road.
Oh my god. Jesus.
The train just doesn't stop moving, bro. Choo choo. So,
I see. Yeah.
are you gonna go in with like a similar mentality then? Are you coming in with this character?
I decided yes. At first
Let's
I was
go.
thinking about having a different character with a different name and everything else like that, but I'm like, I already put this much effort into making this one. I might as well keep him up, right?
I mean, there's people who gets attachments. I mean, sometimes, especially you try out a character and you're just like, damn, that actually went well,
Oh yeah, that's why I thought like this will be like a one-off character, right? And then after the very end of it, I'm just like, man, I want to see I want to see what else Cameron was going to be, doing in his life and stuff like that. I mean, like this, I indirectly made a character I ended up liking a lot. So
There you go. Now, I was trying to find your clips, but unfortunately, I couldn't find them in the section. But I do remember there were a couple things. Now, I'm assuming you're obviously no stranger to combat RP. How'd you enjoy the Ascension experience in the squad role?
Well, I had a fun time with it. Like, so like when it comes to like the fighting stuff, I do prefer like even in like, okay, well, let me get my thoughts together real quick. Sorry. So when it comes to combat roleplay, if it's just like straight combat and no one's like, communicating and stuff like that, I don't like it, because I'm a very much so a social role player. But even in my combat stuff, I like being social. So that's why when I was like leading Ignis Squad, I was trying to make sure, I do my thing of just like asking, it's like, hey, Emmanuel, you need to get healed because you've been taking a lot of hits. Or like, hey, if I end up disappearing, I need you to take over, Riley, and like that kind of thing, right? No, it was Theo. It's like, Theo, I need you to take over if I ever disappear, because I kept disconnecting. So I was like, okay, we're always gonna have someone in charge. So I like that kind of stuff when it comes to combat role playing, where it's just like, you're communicating with your team, you're working together. Not one guy's gonna carry the whole thing.
So,
Yeah.
How did you get picked as leader? Was that just something that happened, or?
Well, it was implied that my character always wanted to be an officer like his father, and when they were trying to find out who was going to step up, well, when they were trying to find out who was going to take the lead, Cameron just stood up, and he's just kind of like, well, I always wondered, like, it's like, well, maybe I should be taking the role. Let's see how this goes, that kind of thing, right? So it's just kind of like, everyone's sort of like, okay, Cameron, let's see what you can do, right? So they're kind of like, because everyone's just like, kind of like, like it's like, should you do, and Cameron's just like, follow me, that kind of thing. So it was just kind of like, okay, well, he's willing just to stand up and say, well, may not be the best plan, but you need someone to stand up and say, follow me, right?
During the battle portions, correct me, what happened on the bridge?
Oh, so on the bridge, Ignis Squad was taking on the left-hand side, and we were trying to make sure that we're holding the line and moving up slowly with the others, because we knew that there were others that were a lot more, well, capable than others to like take on the fight. And as Cameron was up there trying to, fight his way through with the others, he did get hit a few times and had to fall back. But whenever he fell back, he would tell one of his guys that were behind him, it's like, take my spot, I gotta go get healed, that kind of stuff. So on the bridge, he was, doing his part, trying to communicate with his team, and, doing his best to make sure he can still lead from the front without having to, be knocked out. So, like the bridge fight was pretty neat. He wasn't the first one out on there, but he was trying to, make sure that his team would be supporting the others.
Now, did you run into any complications in any of the fighting? Any close calls?
Well, there was a couple times where we almost fell into that lava stuff in the middle part, and I was trying to, well, that's when things got a little bit too separated and hectic, where like, Cameron kept jumping from rock to rock to try to help his team, but he can't be everywhere at once, and he's trying to get everyone across the bridge, and he's trying to help his team to be like the guys to help try to clear out the stuff. At least that's what I thought was happening, but we were kind of end up becoming like a little bit more sporadic, so it was kind of like, And as for close calls, I know at the very end, Cameron, I was almost going to play him off as if he was going to die on the field, but people dragged his ass out of there, and they dragged him out of there and started healing him and stuff like that. So pretty much like, I was trying to make sure I try to take my hits and do that stuff, because honestly sometimes I get a little worried that I'm not taking my hits too many times, but yeah, as for like any complications in communication and stuff like that, I think we did pretty well. I was happy with my team, pretty much. Yeah,
sure. Well,
couldn't have asked for a better
did you
group.
have a good time during your one shot? That's the biggest question.
I had a blast. Like
good.
I got to, play a new character. I got to meet new friends. I got to, see a different kind of role play and stuff like that. Because I was a little bit nervous at first because, I'm a bit new to this kind of community thing. I've only heard hearsay from my friends, and I was just like, man, I really hope I can fit in and, just play along with the things because I don't want to be like, the guy who
What does that even
pokes at me.
mean?
I don't want to be the guy who
I'm
like,
gonna be
comes in.
honest
Oh,
because I keep
what
hearing
thing?
like opinions like this, or like the outsiders looking in kind of a mentality, and I just do not understand it. So like what do you mean like this type of community? What does this community mean? Like what does that even mean?
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that because it actually helps me with my own like kind of worries because I'm not going to drop any names, but I have had some people in the past tell me, I think that some of them have said your biggest thing going against you is that you don't know this community. And I'm like, well, I'm getting to know it. I mean, I'm brand new to this thing. It wasn't like
What
I was
is
watching you guys, like, because I've never watched, I've never watched AA before, and I've never really like, done much with AA before. I've only heard about it from here and there. But now that I'm here and I'm starting to interact with the community more, and I'm actually having a great time, just playing this character, I've been like, I don't really see the
What are
problem
we,
with that,
like
and
the
I feel like I
Dark
accidentally
Order
got a little
or
bit
some
psyched
shit?
out. I
think
think
it's
they may.
mainly.
I feel like.
I think it's mainly because we
Mhm.
haven't had tryouts like this in the past. Really.
Well, yeah, I mean,
No,
obviously, because we
yeah.
didn't really, we were just, I don't know, different. How what's the word? We got going like years ago, right? And so like we were
Mhm.
we were insular, right? Protected from our outside bubble, and so like I guess outside opinions can form, but that's all I could really see.
Yeah, and
I just heard a
it's,
couple of those.
It's more just like intimidating. I think if you're seeing a community that hasn't like accepted like a bunch of new players from like that aren't just people that like have been recruited by friends.
I mean, people are
Mhm.
crazy, and vetting people,
Yeah, I mean, like,
is
I've
even
always-
harder to do,
sorry.
especially in this community. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like when it comes to like just any community or something like that, of course you're not gonna know anything. I mean, heck, all I knew was that this was a little bit more of a kind of a more close knit community, a little bit more of a serious roleplay. But I actually told them too. It's just like that's where improv comes into play. Where like, yeah, I don't know anything here, but as long as you know how to ask a question without sounding like you're a Skyrim character, I mean, like you should be fine. It's just kind of like
Yeah, you can play
it's
it
just-
off.
Common
yeah,
sense
that's why I
goes a
made my
long way
character like
here.
he's a. Yeah, it's like it's like my character. He's a military kid, so he's just kind of like if he hears a place like, well, maybe I think my father talked about it one time, but I'm not too sure about that. Care to explain? Or like, oh well, I think I passed through there one time, but I never got a good look at the place. That kind of thing. So it's just kind of like, okay, he's heard of it, but he's not too sure. If you want to expand more, you can. If not, he can probably pick it up.
Well, you broached an interesting topic.
yeah.
So I am curious now, since you are an outsider and I got you here on in this type of forum, what would be your main differences now that you're here behind enemy lines? What is the difference between this RP and like other RPs? I'm just for my own curiosity.
Well, okay, so one thing I've noticed when it comes to the like role play in general is that you guys really do a good job of just letting the players be the players, letting the characters be the characters. Because I feel like the thing that a lot of people get worried about, especially in my community with Aether and stuff, is that sometimes people get worried about people who want to be a power gamer, people who want to, try to pull nothing out of nowhere and be like, look at this, I have, the spell of screw you and I'm gonna win this.
Uh-huh.
And it's like we don't do that here. I haven't seen anything like that since I've been here.
I stuff it
and
out. Oh, I
like,
stuff it out. Ooh, the bane of justice.
oh yeah.
Sorry.
And that's the reason why sometimes I get a little bit like just slightly concerned where I'm thinking to myself, am I being too much of a I don't want to be the main character, but I want to just play a character, and my character's the character that I want to play. Like he wants to be with his friends and stuff like that. I just get a little bit self-conscious about it, but I think that's more so like just me being worried about stepping on anyone's toes or just coming in and being like, I'm the hero. It's like no, you become it. You don't just are, you know. It's like, or you might have your moment where you shine, but you're not gonna, you can't just like, you know, like just sidestep everyone or push through it, which I would say that's the thing that I think this community does, like this role play that I've seen so far, that does a pretty good job of like, you know, everyone gets like their moment, everyone gets their chance to talk to people, everyone gets their moment to just, you know, become a character in other people's stories, and they start becoming, you know, like attached to people, where now you're starting to, you know, form an actual story amongst this stuff.
Well, just like real life is supposed to be, you are the MC of your own story, right? Like I'm not sitting here going like I'm better than the other guy next to me. It's all about the story you're trying to tell, and perspective is huge. Like you can even ask our watchers, right? Like you can watch a POV, but then if you watch someone else's, you'll get a completely different story. Like the bad guy might be someone completely different. Like for them, the office clerk down the way has been the thorn in their side for fucking 3 months, and they're fighting for the injustice of the environment and culture, while like the person on the right is having a rivalry with their like you know, friend because they got a superpower and they're jealous or some shit. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got their own weird story happening that you can always tune into, but then you get to watch them kind of like come together.
Yeah, it's a living world, you know. That's what I like about it too. Like the place actually feels like, you know, like it's like when my character was talking to people and they were like name dropping places. All I could think to myself is, man, maybe I should have done my homework. But also at the same time, I'm like, man, this place sounds a lot bigger than I thought initially. It's like, okay, so there's all this stuff outside the school, there's all these other things kind of going on too, and also that's another thing that kind of went into me making my characters like, this is an academy, this is a school, so he's gonna be a little bit more naive and, you know, a little bit more jovial and stuff like that.
Yeah. Plus
So,
in like a plus in like a pre like mass transportation system, unless the characters in this world aren't going to be necessarily going to be quite as connected with other places either.
Now I know you haven't kind of gone into it, but we do have actually a lot of lore, and World Anvil obviously will be handing out soon, but digesting all of that can sometimes be difficult, and I can note that for some RPers can sometimes feel stifling when they don't know, because I know some people like to just explore, like you said, have freedom to explore like a magical system, but like here we have a pretty ironclad magic system. There's like really no it's written out, there's rules, you have to follow the rules, and you can't break them. Otherwise, if you break them, then the fundamentals of the whole world will just go to shit. Now, when you get with all that, do you like having that much lore, or do you prefer like a freedom to improv lore? This is definitely a preferential. Obviously, it matters not because you're coming in, but like I was just curious what your preferences are. Probably having had it both.
Right. Yeah. So I would say it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I really do like it that there's established things already in the world. And I would like to use that stuff to make my own lore with it too, such as like, you know, like, okay, my character wasn't aware of like, I should say out of character, I wasn't aware of like CAF. Didn't know that. When I said that my character wants to be an officer like his father, everyone immediately thought, oh, he wants to be a CAF agent, right? Or a CAF officer, right? And like, we'll go with that, whatever that may be. And so I learned like, oh, these are like, you know, the best of the best kind of people. So I'm like, oh yeah, that would make sense because he wants to be like his father. His father has like, you know, he's gone on these things, but you know, there's things that he doesn't want to talk about, like the CAF have gone through. So I'm like, okay, this fits. I can make my lore fit into this thing because it's vague enough to fit in this world that you've already established,
Malleable, yeah.
And it can be fine-tuned to what you already got.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess the one stifling thing would be mainly the magic system, honestly, or like, because I don't know. Do you play D&D?
I've tried like on and off throughout the years. I've always had kind of like a not the best experience with it, but I understand that there is an established magic system in that.
Are you like a magic guy or like video games?
To be honest, I'm more of a guy who likes to like, even though there might be magic in the world, I sometimes stay away from it that often, mainly because it's just like, you know, this seems like a lot. I'm like, I'm
do you play
sorry.
video
In the
games?
MMO, I choose human man with the sword, and he chooses a horse for a mount.
Do you play
Okay?
video
It's
games?
like you
Answer
can
me,
be
Mush.
anything you want. I'm what? Do I
Do-
play video games? Yes, I do play video games.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
Mhm.
okay. What kind of video games? I now just need to understand what kind of person you are now at this point. Who do I have? I
so
need to understand
in
who
the
I'm
realms
talking
of-
to.
Okay, so in the realms of, I play a little bit of everything, man. It's so hard to pin down. But if you want to talk about like RPGs, stuff like that, one RPG, there's two RPGs I usually go to all the time, which is either Kenshi or Morrowind. Those are the two that I like playing a lot because they're
Okay.
both open worlds that you can get lost into. There's a lot of lore that you can
Those
just
are
learn from just
old.
talking to characters. Yeah, they are old. I feel old. Am I old?
Do you
I
still play
probably am
Morrowind?
old.
I mean, if you
On
were alive when that
occasions.
was coming out,
I've
I
never
would say,
beaten it.
yeah, you were a little old.
No, I didn't play when it came out. It was way before my time.
Okay,
but
fuck
yeah,
you.
It was like okay, I'm sorry.
You okay there, Stealth?
I'm fine. I'm fine. What? Hold on. Why am I being called? Sorry.
You're being called
Yeah. 1 second. All right. Go ahead.
Oh,
On
on phone call, I
Discord?
guess.
But yeah, I like playing those games. Like I mean, I will say though, it's just like when it comes to those kind of games, I do like playing just like guy with like despite all these magical people and stuff like that, he just kind of I like playing the guy who tries to overcome the magic, where it's just kind of like what. You're not better than me just because you know these spells. I'll show you that, just with my determination and will, I can get through this. And then I get, bodied by the guy who cast a fireball, but it's the principle.
Yeah.
It's the principle, God damn it!
The principle when you're getting
But,
fucking
yeah.
bodied.
He died with principle. He died like an idiot. He died with principle and an idiot. But yes, I do prefer just primarily not using magic, mainly because like when I first started like my other role plays like that, I wasn't too I didn't know too much about the magic systems, and so there's one thing I do know, and that's just a little bit of sword play here and there, especially when you're in VR. Like I've been amateur practicing HEMA and stuff like that, so I'm like, oh, I can do this, and then I realized, oh, this is completely useless when you're in a VR setting, so it's all about acting, and so you gotta have to learn how to act sword fight and more than actual sword fight.
Well, yeah,
so.
you have to telegraph your hits, otherwise we're not gonna know they're coming, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah.
You don't want to do that in HEMA. That's a bad idea.
No. Like 2 years ago, like when I first started 2 years ago, I was just kind of like, man, they're not like this, that, and the other. And then, like now, I'm like, okay, well, you're acting. You gotta act. You gotta like really telegraph that attack so that the guy in VR knows. Oh, and also latency and all these other things.
You have to
It's
go
like,
at a certain
okay.
speed. It actually does become a dance. Like it's literally. I really like. So I do enjoy. There are certain people that I enjoy fighting with, and I'm not a combat person, but there are people who get my style of combat, and I'm kind of like a step in, and I do a series of swings and blocks, which they step into the rhythm with me with series and blocks. And as long as they step into the rhythm with me, we can make it look so good. It doesn't matter if there's a 4-second lag. We're gonna be in series. Just don't break it. I guess a good example of that, and I'll pat all the people on the back. Our finale in Fallbrook with Godfrey, Victor, and I'm perfect. Just in sync dancing. It was just dancing. They knew the assignment. But then there's other people who have different styles of combat, right? Where they like to be very grandiose and very like flashy and/or whatever, and it is less about, because that does take a little bit of technical skill. In order to dance, you do have to know a little bit of blocking and swiping and etc. Otherwise, there's nothing to dance to, right? And I'm assuming,
Right.
being a HEMA person, you'd understand that it's back and forth. Well, hopefully it doesn't take too long, because if it takes too long, you all die. But that's the other thing here. We fight for hours. Battles don't last that long.
Yeah, it's like
an engagement's supposed to take 2
it's
seconds.
like when it's like I was talking to my friend one time. It's just like Pirates of the Caribbean. I love that movie, but I know that a lot of the times when it comes to sword fighting, it's not gonna last that long. You're gonna get the jump on a guy because the reality is sword fighting is like chess, but 15 times speed.
Yeah.
You didn't think 8 steps ahead. You only thought 7, and now you're dead with a sword in your chest. But when
you
it
only
comes
get a couple
to like
moves,
you know,
usually.
yeah, yeah. But when you're playing on VR with your friends, I've told you it's like this is where you play movie fighting. You don't play HEMA fighting because when you try to do HEMA, everyone's gonna get butt hurt, and I don't like it when people get butt hurt because it's annoying. So we're just gonna try to be like. That's why I try to tell people. This
Have you
is
tried the
a
HEMA
movie. This is
in
fantasy.
this before?
The closest thing I would say I did to HEMA in VR would be when I'm playing like Blade and Sorcery.
Yeah.
Another game that I don't use the magic system in.
Yeah.
It's just Blade for me.
Blade and Blade.
Yeah.
You're right. It
Blade,
would devolve
Blade and Blade.
to playground tactics. No, I got you.
Exactly, and I don't want to do that. Where I'm like, that's why a lot of times
anyone
too, when
armor
I'm
isn't gonna be tired out. Are tired out a lot faster than we are.
Well, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Man, can you
Like,
imagine trying to do like real life fighting against armored units in VR? It's impossible. Like we don't have the ability to fucking seek out those nooks and crannies or climb on or tackle them. Like it's just doesn't. It's not in our. We can't.
Yeah.
No.
Although it
I mean,
would
like,
be crazy though. I mean, I do remember when I first finally saw some realistic HEMA style fighting brought into some like Hollywood films. It shocked me, right? Like what was it? It was the Kings. Was it Kings? I think it was. There was this leadership duel, right? Both wearing armor. They bust out, like, you know, it's the standard, but it takes 2 seconds. The first round, they're off the deal. The second round, swords are down. The second, daggers are out, and it's inserted somewhere. It's just a rough. It's gritty. It's gritty. It's ugly. It's dirty. There's nothing flashy about it. Good stuff. Sorry, death.
Oh yeah,
Looking them in the eye. It's very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Chad.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, and also, like, a person who helped really teach me how to do, like, you know, like LARP fighting or just VR fighting in general, actually was Kenna's. We actually just spent some time together one time, just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Rule of 3: you block 3 times, you strike 3 times. That's like the most basic thing you can do when you're like, it's like, you know, like and then you're like, whip-pow, you know, and it's this the back and forth until one of you feel like maybe you came up with something clever. And that's another thing that I've liked a lot about like fighting in VR is that sometimes it's not about just swinging around a big sword. It's about, you know, being clever with your tactics like that, you know. Sometimes, you know, hey, now that I got legs, I can just actually like, okay, leg sweep, and you can just act it out. But sometimes you might want to just tell the person so that way they know, like, okay, I just got tripped, oop, you know, so they can actually fall over. Yeah.
Fighters be fighters,
you know,
and they vary like on what they do. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah. To go back to that other point. Yeah. I was like, I like playing fighters. I like being the guy with the sword.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I do.
Oh yeah, and I know that this place is a little bit more like there's a lot of people who are like magically inclined, and I was thinking about my characters kind of not really knowing magic that well, or if he is capable of magic, he's just not that. It's not getting through. It's just like
I mean that was me until that took me what 5 IRL years for Chipz to learn magic. Now that's dedication.
Yeah.
Yep. If it finally he had his breakthrough or whatever. His moment, you know how they do in anime.
Oh yeah.
And
We know. Shut up, Chad. You take it and you're gonna like it in the doses I give it to you. Okay, I told you I like being the underdog. I told you I like just sword combat, and I just wanted to be the underdog. All right. Now I will say though,
nothing wrong with that.
if you're coming on our roster though, we are gonna need to talk because we're gonna need to beef you up a smidgen. Like for example, you can't just be a human that wields a sword, right? You'd be wrecked. Like for example, if you were to take me, a Chipz, right? We're supposed to be like teaming up with you. He's a vampire who only uses a sword. Now, I'm not to be superiority in my upbringing heritage, but I think vampires might have a slight edge, which means we need to get you on an edge. We need you to have an edge. So there needs to be something. So you should probably think that on the back of your mind, like what could be this unlocked, untapped potential that's gonna come out, that's gonna make your character worth it. What's your edge? So food for thought. We haven't talked yet, but that's gonna be something that we were gonna do when we get closer. But since I have you here, I thought I'd mention it.
Partially because we're like in the end game right now for this role play. We're like,
yes, true. If you were starting with us, you're perfect, but you were coming along for the ride. So like, my advice probably, like, if you want to stay the way you are, is like, you guys can still all be kind of greenlings, but during this upcoming event, you come into your own in a way that makes you useful.
Right. So maybe he does know a little bit of magic with like.
And I can help you with
It doesn't
brainstorming
necessarily
as
have
well
to be magic.
later.
It could be anything. Just you could think outside the box for this too.
Something I like. Something I really like is enchanted weapons. Those are really fun to play with.
Yeah, exactly. You could.
I always wanted to have a fire sword. That'd be kind of cool if you had one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fire sword, and then like
Diluc is
could
not
have like some way to ramp it, some way to ramp the sword, and have like drawbacks, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pick a theme and you can run with it. Could also be like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know. Think out some things. I don't want to pigeonhole you down a line of thinking. Use your brain box and then come at me a little later.
Oh yeah, I can probably think of something.
All right, cool. But yeah, it's coming up soon. I can't believe it. Fucking a month and some. Though you guys don't actually start.
A month is still a while.
You say that. I haven't even started map work. I just got AA uploaded and
We're
then
cooked, Chad. We're
put on the thing. Don't say we're cooked, man. We had to do the RP tryouts and then the thingies and then the outline, and then I finally knew what I was doing. I didn't know what I was even doing until like 2 weeks ago.
You want to do another month?
I mean, yes, but I'm gonna try to fit it. We don't have to. We have a disaster period snuck in there. So basically, we start no matter what. When I said we're starting, but we're gonna be at the academy. So we might just extend being at the academy an extra month if I need to make sure we have everything ready. Basically, but then that means the newbies will then be waiting in the wings for an extra little bit. So however long we take at the academy is however long they wait.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with waiting like a little longer. Or so if you guys got it, I mean, like, hey, it's like any good project, regardless of what it is, the time you put into it, the time you just like, if you have to delay something to get like those things done. I mean, shoot.
Doesn't understand. It's always like
in the immortal words of Gabe Newell, we hope it's worth the wait, and it always is.
I don't know. That is always stressful, especially for the creator, because you're like, damn, I better make this worth it.
I mean, but if you gotta like spend like an extra month, I mean, like, there's a lot of us who are trying to get like some other stuff done. Like, I still gotta get the model. Like, this is still a public one. I still gotta get my own. I gotta talk to the people at my work, being like, hey, I need to have Saturdays. Yeah.
Well, there's a Diluc out there for sure.
Oh, okay. So I just recently talked to someone. They're gonna make me my own little thing where basically it's all rigged up and stuff like this, because no matter where I've gone, it's like, sure, we got a Diluc model. This isn't rigged for anything. It's just a raw rip. Yep. Ah, crap.
Yeah, I gotta rearrange them bones.
I gotta do stuff that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
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 I actually just put out an announcement in the model whip about stuff, and I guess I could say it again, but for those that might not have access to the AOD, people were looking at. So, oh man. Yes, we are getting a group of people together and for a thing, and we will be providing stuff if we do provide stuff, but for now it's freeform. Make sure to have warm gear. Thank you. That's as vague as I can be without giving spoilers.
Okay.
I'm trying. I should just say it, but honestly, I should just say it.
School.
But it's the North guys. So yeah, it's gonna be fun having everybody, seeing everybody again, and coming as a
I mean,
class.
like I'm just like on the topic of like just like the class in general. Like I don't know if I've explained certain things here and there, but like I love the fact that like as a joke I had my character because he's like such a freaking like eager guy and such like like he had a list of things he wanted to accomplish in the school before he graduates, and all of them apparently got finished the first session. He's just like, oh my gosh, I've already done everything. Man, I wonder what else is gonna happen tomorrow.
Death.
Death. Oh no, I can.
I mean, you hit your
Don't
bucket
kill me! I
list.
just kissed a cute girl. No.
I mean, that's what you literally made a list. You made a bucket list, and so yeah. What do you think happens?
Yeah, now he dies. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. The people who really wanted Cameron to live, not.
Death comes for us all. So, are you familiar with Ascension Academy, or you only heard horror stories about the admin team themselves?
No. Okay, so this is what I've heard. Two things. I've heard that Ascension Academy is a roleplay group, and that
Full of devils.
my friend Rayo.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that my friend Rayo. Oh my God, my friend Curry. Yeah, my friend Curry plays in it. And that's all I knew at the time, right? And
He's literally
outside
a
of that, I've
devil.
also
You're
heard
not
some things
beating the
where it's
allegations here.
like and with Ascension, like over time I heard like, oh yeah, it's like how I've always like been told it's like imagine Hogwarts, but it's a military academy. I'm like, okay, that sounds cool, because you have like the different the houses, or actually squad, like what are they called again?
Squads, but yes.
Swarms? Squads. You see, this is why I need
Squad
to do my
up.
homework. No. Squad up, yeah. But yeah, you have like the different squads and stuff like that, and you get like kind of separated out and stuff. So I thought, okay, this is actually really cool. I like the idea. And I was like, is there a way I can become like a player in there? And they're like, what? At the time, they're like, well, they only accept NPCs at the time because the player cast is limited. And the only other place I've ever heard about like wanting to, that piqued my interest, but it kind of like kind of swayed me away a little bit, was because of like the whole like player thing. Because at the time, I should say, I didn't like NPCing. Now I'm okay with it, but at the time I wasn't okay with it because a lot of the DMs that I was with, they didn't really do a good job of explaining like what you're supposed to do. You're just like, okay, you're a big snarling monster, go out there and die ad nauseum. And I'm like, I am feeling nauseous after like going down for the 20th time. Am I supposed to do anything else besides go? It's like, okay. So, and the only other place I heard about was Fractured Thrones, and so I was like, oh, can I be a character in that? It's like, yeah, but you're gonna be an NPC and you're probably gonna die immediately. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't like hearing that, so I'm just gonna go over here. So when they said you can be a player character here, I was like, okay, well that sounds like something I would be wanting to do instead of just having to, because like people who like being NPCs, we love you to death. We need you for certain. I just didn't find, it's not the NPC work, it's just the DM that I couldn't find the proper stuff for it. So
all right, I'm gonna hone in
sorry
on
for going
this.
out of order,
Okay, yeah. You kind of went. All right, listen here, Mush. All right, mushy. Okay, we
Mushy,
don't call
yeah.
our
What?
people NPCs. They're army of fucking darkness, bro. Okay. Second
Hell
of
yeah.
all, they're the best in the world. Okay, high class RPers, every single one of them. They put on the experience of a lifetime, and honestly, every single one of them, especially in here, we have this thing where if you want to be a main character, you go through the normal channels. AOD will pretty much guarantee you eventually you'll be looked at, which if you look at this group that we just had, there were like 3, 4, 5, I think, straight from AOD. that's because that is the way. We believe in the way. People who give their time and give their energy and support and love to the they make the best players because they already know the world, right? Onboarding is way easier when they've been trained. They know the magic systems. They know the beasts. They know the lore. They know the locations. It's like, oh, okay. Now they can easily slot in.
Oh yeah.
For onboarding, oh my god. But we also recognize that you need to do people freshies off the boat, But listen here, don't be disrespecting our AOD. I will slap you, Mush.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So here, I was gonna continue on from that, where it's like when I heard about how the AOD works over here, though, because they're much different from what I've experienced. Because like I said, most of the time when I was doing stuff, it was just like you're an NPC. You're supposed to like kind of like be there so that the players have something to smack. I'm like, I feel like this could be something a little bit more than just a player just walk up and smack with a stick. Where it's like, that's where when I started seeing stuff that you guys were doing with the AOD stuff, I'm like, oh my god, why don't more people do this stuff? Because this actually makes like it makes being these characters fun. Where like you're more than just just faceless enemy number 27. Where it's just like, okay, well, this isn't faceless enemy 27.
We
this
still
is
need
Carl.
that, by the way, and we will use you guys for that. You know that, but continue.
Yeah.
That's just one of those unnecessary evils. Like if you want bad guys fodder, you need to you gotta have bad guy fodder, which I don't mind playing once in a while. Like I do it when we're low on numbers, especially which there have been times. Holiday season is a rough time to run arcs, but we do it anyways. And when you do it anyways, you're up in the trenches.
Whenever I do a bit of AOD for like the monsters and stuff, I think it's really fun when I'm like in the call with the person doing the DMing and they're like listen
shot
to
calling,
them plan out the waves and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty
wave two. Yeah, exactly. Cue the big boss. All right, air flying now. Come in, harry them from the side. It's like its own little battle strategy. It's you are the bad strategist. You're the evil strategist. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like that actually is way more like engaging because like I feel like when like people do that kind of stuff, I feel like it should be engaging not just for like the players but also for the other parts of the cast, which I feel like you guys do an amazing job doing that stuff.
Well, we're actually at the point where they have to play humans and stuff which is strategy. Because before, and we've talked to AOD, they're getting to that point now. It's where it's like, all right, we need to be smart now. Now you're actually using strategies. You have a leader there, designate a leader, right? Pull back. So now because our academy now has had 5 IRL years of 5-person squad training. And in this specific VR environment, which is specific only to this niche. So yes, they're at this point
really good at this one thing.
And they're very good now at this one thing, which means our AOD has to be exceptional at this one thing too. Because to put on a convincing show, right? Like you have to like really put it and up the pressure. Like you have to outskill the guy who's trying to outskill you. Like it's hard to be like, oh, my weapon fell to the ground when the guy you're facing off against can barely hold their weapon, right? Like fundamentally, there needs to be stuff there. And I say we have the best AOD in the goddamn world. All right, continue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, again, sorry if it did sound like I didn't want to make anyone.
Oh no, I just went off on a tangent. Don't worry, you're fine.
It's okay. Yeah, but he just
gets like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm off my meds.
No, you're fine. I mean, you have some, I will be honest, you do have something to brag about because this kind of stuff that you've been able to do. Like, the more I start learning about everything here, like that, because I came in not knowing much, but now the more I'm starting to learn about this stuff here, I'm like, man, I wish I knew about this sooner because this is this is really cool. This is really inviting and very interesting,
super nerdish
and stuff like that, and that's why I'm really. What was that?
I said super nerdish.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, incredibly nerdy. I'm dirt. Yeah. I mean, this really is a very it's like if you love just fantasy stuff or just wanting to be like character from I said I don't know if it's accurate saying like it's like military Harry Potter thing, but like this is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I fucking love
That's
I
about-
freaking
that's
love
about
this. Yeah. hmm
Do
hmm
people even do text RPs anymore?
I mean, that would be boring.
Text
wouldn't you?
RP?
Because like I know people do like game like RP and game like
I mean,
RPing in
Conan
games
is
and stuff.
badass, you know me, and I love my
Mhm.
Conan RP. But outside of that, I don't know. I'm sure Minecraft RP
I
exists.
could
No,
do-
I
like,
I know
grew up doing
Minecraft
like
RP exists.
forums and IM role playing and stuff was a lot of fun.
Mm.
My friend was in those Minecraft role plays. He doesn't like talking about them.
Oh no, man, that must be way more drama than I thought. Damn.
I was just like, damn, it's like this is like, I love him to death, but there was like a time where like, damn, this fucked you up, buddy. I'm sorry. I like, so sorry for swearing so much. I don't know if that's
No, you're fine. But you're
but,
saying Minecraft fucked him
yeah.
up? Because in my opinion, there's nothing more fucked in the head than getting into VR chat and then totally disassociating yourself from reality and then stare at the mirror and look at anime titties. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why I come here for, right?
That's what I mean. That's literally what I mean.
Why do you always play a short character? Oh, no, I'm kidding.
Speaking of dissociating, sometimes I take off the headset and talk to my friends about the session. I'm like, what was I even doing in there? My character was like just happening.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Like getting into it so much that like it's not necessarily like it's not necessarily even you playing it anymore. It's like you're like inhabiting the character more.
Oh yeah, when you get fully immersed into the character, where you're kind of like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
remember saying that.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's some might call that subjecting ourselves to like mental distress because we are technically putting ourselves through things that are fucked if you think about it, and then we are reacting to them as if they were real.
Just a minor apocalypse, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, your friend is
yeah.
lying bloody next to you, and then you have nightmares about it for months afterwards. It was just a game,
yeah,
bro.
that's why,
it was just a game, right?
Well, oh, dude, it's there has been moments like that where it's like a character dies and out of character. I'm like, damn, I actually feel really fucking sad that he's dead.
Oh no!
Even though he's still alive, and I play Helldivers with him, he's dead in the game, and we can't make that character come back. I'm sorry, it's sad.
I'm still upset. We lost Rook. I'm still mad. That happened 5 years, real life years ago.
Yeah, I'm still, yeah.
I am still distraught. I was hurt, and I cried and I was upset because I knew that I would never see that motherfucker again. And that sucks, even if it is fake, because you're never gonna see him. And I was right. I've never seen him since.
Out of like the four the four role play sort of like funeral things that my characters had, only one of those characters had a new character play. The rest of them were kind of like their going away thing. Like, I'm not going to be in this role play anymore. I'm going to go do something else for a while because life's happening and stuff like that. So I'm like, now it's even worse because you're actually going away for a while. So I'm like, yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that it kind of stuck to. I'm like, damn it, we're gonna have cool adventures, but you know,
Kari.
like with the role play stuff that we've been kind of doing, that I've been kind of doing and stuff. I've just been having a great time, even though I've only been technically in like 2 little sessions of this. I've had a flippin' blast, you know, like just playing as like, you know, like Cameron, he went through his little arc with his, you know, with his squad where like, you know, we were trying to stick together, but we kept separating because, well, we just kind of went around and, you know, just his little journey in that one little session of just like being like this like clueless numbskull to being like, well, it looks like I'm going to have to lead my friends into battle.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does all that stuff. Like he like like what did I tell my friend? It felt like a movie a bit
Right.
because there's like this some things that would happen where it's like you guys weren't there when this happened, but so Cameron went back to the dorms at one point, right? And like I said, like things that just happened where it almost felt like almost like a part of it, like you like almost like you can't write this stuff, right? Like it's like almost cinematic. Cameron goes back to his dorm, he's checking out some stuff. He notices the mirror, and this is like who's the other vampire's name again? I forget.
Victor.
It's like Victor.
Victor.
Yep.
Yeah, Victor. Well, he's in his room,
Yep.
right? And he's looking around. He's like, "Huh, what's this mirror do?" Because I noticed it was like an interactable. I click it, everything's a different color. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we're not gonna touch that anymore." Yeah, I shouldn't touch things that aren't mine. So that's why when he went to that crystal, he was like very hesitant in touching it. He's like, "Something weird happened earlier. I don't want to touch another crystal. I'm gonna go over here now."
Oh, was it the crystal that Rise was carrying?
Yeah, that was the thing where he was just like, "Huh, this thing's making a pulsing noise." No, I learned my lesson last time. It's gonna make me trip out again. I'm gonna go into the grand hall, see if my friends are in there.
The worst thing that was gonna happen is he was not tripping out.
Yeah, it was death.
And there they die.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're getting geared up for the
But-
north, and you're gonna be ready, warm and ready, with comrades. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? Like, what are your expectations for this? What do you think is gonna happen? Like I've obviously told you some, but then I'm not gonna tell everything because I obviously know what's happening because my story and shit. But like,
Mm-hmm.
tell me your thoughts. I'm curious.
So we're already. So I've talked to some of my friends, primarily Wiffles and Keniz, about how do our characters know each other, right? Because like we've been there for a while, so what are we gonna do, right? So I was going to be like, he's kind of like the friends of them with that kind of stuff. So I'm expecting myself to be like, okay, we're gonna know each other for one reason or another. But going forward from that, like us getting into Ascension and stuff like that, because apparently we're not going to start off in Ascension and we're just going to start off at that school and then we're going to end up going into there. I'm just like, I've been trying to incorporate it into like also like backstory stuff too. So going forward, I'm not too sure. I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm stoked. I'm like, I don't know what's around the corner, which is like the best part, which is like, like learning about more stuff and figuring it out on your own. That's always been my sort of like my cup of tea when it comes to role play stuff. But yeah, as I would say, going forward, I'm not too sure.
All right. Do you have any expectation? Okay. I guess it's actually better that you don't know. Well, I mean, you do know some, right? Because you did the one shot, so you understand the basics. That's the beauty of the one shot. That literally introduced everyone to the full story in one little go. that's
Yeah,
literally.
I think someone said like I experienced a whole like season arc in like one go, where I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Like that was something. Like I just like talking to like my classmates and going on all these little things and like just learning about people's backstories, but also at the same time like experiencing all this other like this was great for a first run. And then like the beach episode where like now you get to interact with people and do even more social RP stuff where now you get to understand people's mindsets, people's things, like when that ship rolled up to that sandbar and crashed, like Cameron was like over somewhere else with his girlfriend and he's just like, danger, I gotta go. You can come with you if you want, but I gotta go see what's going on over there. So he runs to the burning ship. Because at first he's like, I don't like the look of those sails. Oh, they're on fire. Screw the sails. We gotta do the right thing.
Save the Chippu.
There's only one guy on the ship. Okay, that's easy to evacuate.
Listen, I commandeered those ships legally, right? Because like they take, I take, right? It's the rule of the sea.
Yeah. Is that how that works?
Unfortunately, I'm not a law enforcement person, so your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, the beach episode was fun. I
Um,
liked all of it. I thought all of it was fun. Both of you guys did. Yeah, but yeah, that was all one season packed into one episode. So yeah, you basically got a dose of the plot. Basically, that's the plot. That you were introduced to the plot. That is the overall plot.
Is that we got a door, we got a big scary door, and it needs to stay shut.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep. Yep. That's
Is
there. We don't even need to do the role play now. That's it.
Yes.
Summarize it in one sentence. There we go.
I mean, we did a good
Actually,
job
I'm
there.
curious.
But, huh?
I'm curious. So we talked to everyone, like all the tryout people, like a bit after their sessions. But I think after the beach episode, I don't think we got to talk to anybody, right? What did you think of the beach social role play?
Oh yeah, true.
Well, so I liked it a lot because I got to essentially play Doofus Who's in Love, which is just like I
Wait,
was
you
doing
did
that
too?
because,
How were you guys all lovebird? Well, I guess okay. I'm gonna be honest. After every
Okay,
massive
so-
fight, everyone tries to fuck each other. It's okay. Go ahead. Hold on.
No, okay. Would you like to hear it? 'Cause
Don't
it's really
know
sweet
me on this.
story.
It's the truth.
Maybe others, but you know, my character's wholesome boy. You know, he doesn't. He's not
You
gonna.
good?
I was just resetting the music. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the wholesome boy, right? He's not gonna be like, you know,
Uh-huh.
Out for that kind of stuff. Oh,
But keep going. I'm listening.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. So last session happens is after the big fight, and you know, Cameron, he's like walking up with his group, and someone says, "Hey, Cameron, that dwarf's lagging behind. Can you go ask him if they need assistance getting walking up out of here?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So Cameron walks up to Amelia, who is the dwarf, and he's
Okay.
like, "Hey, do you need help walking?" And so he's like, "Yeah, sure." So he picks her up, and as they're walking out there, like that's when like the voices start coming by, right? Like we're all hearing like let them die, they're dead, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is awful, right?
Wait,
And
so you're
Cameron just
carrying
starts
the
singing
dwarf?
his song. Yeah, I'm carrying the dwarf.
Wait,
yeah,
but
and
why? Because they're
She was
short.
injured.
Carrion.
No, they're injured and they need
They
help.
got injured.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I missed that part. Okay,
She's
continue.
like, oh, I should maybe.
Hey, did you literally that's what went through my head. He's like, hey, I better help her. She's short. She's not gonna make it back. We need to get out of here quick. Here.
Toss you out of his cave. No, okay. I should have said is after the battle we were injured. She was more injured than I was, so I picked her up and we were like walking out of there, and we just started talking. So the voices are happening, and Cameron starts singing, and apparently I have someone clipped of Cameron singing before the thing happened, but it was the same song. So he starts singing a song, and she's like, "Wow, that was a really pretty song. Thanks. It's a song of this, that, and the other." And as we're walking out of the cave, we're just talking about our homes and stuff like that
Right.
too. And we get to the Healers Guild. Healers Guild. Gets to the healing area, the medical building, and he's about to let her down, and she apparently was like, she's like, you notice that she's holding on to you very tight, and he's like, oh, is there something wrong? He's like, where are we? He's like, oh, we're in the medical ward. And he puts her down, and he's just like, all right, well, I'll let the medics take care of you from here, but if you ever need anything, just let me know. And as he's walking away, Amelia's just like, hey, Cameron, yeah, I need to tell you something. Yeah, sure, what is it? Get closer. Yeah, get a little closer. Yeah, what is it? You know, is this something serious? You know, he's like, just like
Wait, they
cute
just
little kiss.
stole it
And so
just
that's
because you
something-
just walked, bro. The standards. All
Well,
right.
no, it was because you know he helped her and other things like that, and after that, there
It's
was
called.
just-
into
he's
the-
just jealous.
Literally.
He's just jealous.
It's literally what I just said. You literally had a life and death situation, and now they all become horny afterwards. It is the rules.
getting a peck on the cheek from someone who admires you is horny
Do we
now.
have to
I
clip
see
what
how
it
it is.
happened to fucking Ryder, dude? I don't even know what happened, dude. We fought something massive or something. He kills the thing. He's like, and then he instantly was like, I don't even know. He turns to the ladies. He's like, God, I need to get laid or some shit like that. It was fucking. I don't even know. Good, continue.
Oh my god. But no, yeah. It was like a wholesome little moment. She helped her out of the cave, and actually during the conversation they were just talking a lot, and I guess it was just kind of like, oh wow, he actually gives a shit about my backstory. Well, that's so nice of you. Or something like that. I don't know. But and then we got to the beach, and it was just basically like they're basically dating on the beach. Like that was like their day out, right? And so yeah, and that's kind of like, I was like playing no goofball in love, where it's just like, oh hey, Amelia, you want to come along with my friends? We're gonna go over here. It'd be great. And so, and also like being cute in the moonlight and stuff like that. Just
Oh, isn't that so cute? Stuff.
Yeah, it's a cute little wholesome thing.
So wholesome.
He sang to her from that, like, that little log we kept jumping off of. She was on top of there, and
I'm
he
saying
swam
you're
out there,
wholesome.
and next
I
thing he's
think
like,
you got played.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean I got played?
She was like, oh man, picks me up. Maybe.
Serenades
Yeah, I
me.
can take advantage of him to
Buys me drinks.
take
He's
me
a nice
up.
guy. Yeah. Totally.
This is very thoroughly thought
maybe
through.
it was
Mine now.
maybe
Claim
it was
ownership.
the issue.
Better lay down a kiss before anybody else gets an eye.
Oh my god.
Lay claim.
Yeah,
before
don't
she
be
left,
jealous.
she's
You have
like-
Victor.
Before she
True.
was gone too, Cameron did the same thing to her, where it's like she's like, "All right, Cameron, I'm gonna go back to the dorms." Like, "All right, hey, Amelia, before you go, I need to tell you something." Yeah, come closer. I need to get a little closer. All right, see ya. And then everyone like turns the camera.
Why
like,
is everybody
what?
fucking at the academy? I thought you were the wholesome boy. I thought we had at least one wholesome boy.
Wait. Being cute, giving each other cheek kisses, and what, cheek kisses, right?
Yeah, there were cheek kisses.
and like being all like affectionate. That's not horny. That's just cute.
Yeah, I love cute role play.
Dude, you know what hand holding means in anime?
I don't think they held hands. Did they hold
It's
hands?
lewd as fuck.
They did.
Oh no!
In front of
It's
everyone
over.
on the
It's
beach.
over.
Yes, exactly. Chi-Chi knows you get pregnant.
Oh no, I'm pregnant. I'm Gregnant. I am become
Gregory.
Borgante.
Damn it.
Gregory. We don't talk about Gregory.
No, we don't need to talk about
Oh no, not Gregory.
Okay, so
Oh my God.
I see Wiffles made it out. See, I thought, man, Curry Ryder was gunning for you. I'm surprised you made it out alive. Thank God.
Wait,
Wait,
that is
Ryder
true.
was gunning for me.
But, no, not for you.
No.
Wiffles was talking about.
Ryder was gunning for Whipple's
Oh.
character.
Yeah,
Fabian.
It's like, bro. Anyways,
Wiffles, be
so
careful.
you were
I don't
not
wanna-
a
I
pure
don't wanna
boy.
recite the song
Okay,
that-
you got romantically involved. Okay, I thought you were. I didn't.
How could
Okay,
you?
okay. Listen, I know you don't want to hear this, but I didn't think you were in the romancing category. I thought you were over here in the goody boy territory. I guess lonely boy territory
What, you
would be a
think
better
romancing
description.
Why
put you
not
in
both?
the doesn't let you be in the nice goody boy category.
Well, well, I mean, like Imagine says, they're not gonna catch up to him and level 40 wizard this shit.
That's why I can't use magic.
Not their current trajectory. Yeah, that's exactly.
Jesus Christ.
You were so close, but they stole it from you on the first day.
Second day, actually. No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh God. No.
My goodness.
All right, Chad. Do you have questions for Mush? Normally, I ask this way too late, and then we go like way over. So I'm trying to start it a little, 30 minutes before I end this
Oh
time.
yeah. What is,
I'm
Try
What
not
is-
to go an
what
hour
does Chad have to
over.
say?
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay.
I'm open to any questions.
when I was talking
Don't
to
ask me
Emo,
my social security. I won't answer it.
I got a little chatty, but it happens. I just chat sometimes, you know.
Mhm.
Do you know about the cycles? That's a good question. Camera's on you.
I don't think they do.
Zooming in. Do you know about the fucking cycles?
What are the cycles?
Is this something you want to go over?
I don't even know. Listen. Did you
I'm
know
worried about
that
this now.
I know how all this works? I know how the world of Ascension works. I know how Chipz gets to where he's at in the future. I know. And did you know that his present day story is connected to all this? And we even alluded to it with the broken boy. Sorry. Anyways, I'm done.
So basically,
What-
we had a role play before Ascension Academy that was kind of like the pre-metaverse stuff.
We are the metaverse.
And Chipz had his own story and arc and everything, and then he wanted to go back and do Ascension Academy, which would be a telling of his past, and then also involve a bunch of more people as well.
So basically,
And it ended up
present
being,
day
like,
is
5
metaverse.
5 years.
So we called present day metaverse, and the metaverse after I made Ascension Academy became its own thing, and now it's no one controls metaverse. It's just a thing, right? So like, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's kind of crazy to me that like so many things branched off of the metaverse.
yes, I mean,
Yeah, I've heard a lot of. Unfortunately, I've heard not heard a lot of good things about metaverse. But then again, it's just what I've heard.
Well, it's
I'm a guy
because it's
who
a
wants to experience
non-regulated
it.
role play. That's all. It's a hodgepodge. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
exactly what a metaverse is, right? Like, how many infinite universes can you
like-
have? How many probable futures are there? Which can account then for why we have 5,000 Lokis. You know, all playing the same character, right?
Just walking up to like, hey, what's up, Sonic the Hedgehog?
Right.
It's
But
okay
yeah,
though. I mean, I
That's
get
what
it.
it felt
it's
like
pretty
back in the
cool.
day, though,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, but for us, we
Mhm.
basically reset the cycles, and for us, cycles were just a way to, almost
travel.
Yeah, well, kind of, but also like almost eliminate
Like
a
a time
timeline. In a way,
Mhm.
you know, like
It was really sad.
it was resetting a timeline back to a default state, basically, before
I
something
see.
happens. So like you have the cataclysmic event that happens in a timeline that would cause its ultimate destruction.
It's a rewrite kind of.
basically, reset back, yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's the inevitable. All right, I see. Was there any other questions?
Oh yeah. Sorry, we got on.
Anything?
What is your social security number? Yeah, they really wanted to go in there. How did you get into VR roleplay?
Yeah.
Well, you already kind of explained your ether stuff. Was that your first one, or did you do any roleplays before that?
Okay, so I've always done before I even got on VR, I've role played a little bit on and off with D&D.
Okay.
It wasn't really scratching that itch. I tried role playing like with just video games, stuff like that. It kind of was okay, but I've always said like, no
Why
matter
were you
if you've given
trying?
me like,
Was it like literally what got you into fantasy or like role playing in general?
oh,
Well,
okay,
no, I'm just
so,
asking now because I'm curious.
well, I always wanted just to get into a sort of like a kind of a cool sort of like how do I put it? I remember seeing people having a lot of fun with just LARPing, but I can never find a LARP group in my area. So I was
Ah.
like, damn, this looks really fun despite it being nerdy as hell. And I would totally
Fair.
love to go out into the middle of the woods and just pretend to be another character for a whole weekend. But I don't have those kind of people. So what am I going to do? So I tried it with D&D, wasn't really scratching it. Tried it with, just normal role-playing video games.
Right.
Definitely wasn't scratching it. And then all of a sudden, I got VR. My friends are on it and stuff like that. We're hanging out. And then I encountered this one person named Quetzalcoatl. Lovely person. They're the reason why I'm even in roleplay, because they were in this really cool avatar, and it's like, hey, that's really cool. What's it for? And they're like, oh, like not what's it for? Like what? Like how'd you get it? And like this, that, and the other. And they explained that they were part of a roleplay called Aether Chronicles. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. What's that about? And so I eventually just joined up on there, and since then I've just been kind of like a regular in Aether, and now I'm wanting to branch out a little bit more.
So
yeah,
you straight up
it's
went
all good.
into VR chat roleplay right from the get go.
More or less, yeah. Like I was like when I got my VR headset, I was just kind of running around it in like in my half body, like waving at people and stuff, because I was like, oh my god, I can finally do stuff in VR, right? And I was at a little event, and I met Quetzal, and then everything from there is just kind of like what happened now.
This is unfair. You know, I spent my whole
very
life. You don't want to know how old I was before, you know, computers were even invented. No, that's a lie. And I spent my whole life, okay, looking for an avenue such as these. Many years were spent, and you're telling me you just were like, oh, that looks cool, and you got to just do it? There was no years of waiting, wanting, yearning?
Oh my goodness.
A little bit. Like
I'm a
I
little
said,
jealous.
like I could never find like a real life group to do stuff with, and if I wanted to do like I said, like amateur HEMA, I've practiced on my own. If I wanted to go to an actual place, I have to spend a lot of money for it, and I actually have to
True.
go out of town for it, which is even
True.
more money. So I'm like, damn, what else do I got? And I was just like, well, I have a VR headset, and my friend just told me about this really cool thing. I'm just gonna go check this out and see if I like it. And my first day, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna walk into this thing, and people immediately were just kind of like, oh wow. Since Aether is more of like an open-ended role play thing, people just kind of like kind of do things on the fly all the time. They're like,
Right.
oh wow, hey, come with us. We're gonna go do this cool thing. I'm like, okay, sure, and I go do it, and I had a blast. And I was like, I'm gonna do this on Mondays now. So
Man,
that's
VR
kind of
roleplay
the
just
new
ends up
blessing.
being the coolest thing ever.
Oh, crap. Like, I can be literally anything that I want to be in the role play. Like, I can be that tiny little character, or I can be like this giant monster. Like,
Okay,
it's all there. You just gotta, pop into it.
so you had a VR chat headset. What did you buy a VR chat for the? What did you buy VR for to begin with? Like, what was your reason behind the purchase?
Okay. So, this is gonna sound funny. So, I used to hang out with my friends on VR chat just on desktop. And also, there were a lot of these really cool games that were coming out too. And I was like, I play this game a lot with my friends on desktop. And there's also these really cool VR games I've been wanting to check out, but I don't have a headset for it. Why not just, I have the money for it, and it's not like I'm doing my other hobbies, because honestly, like my other hobbies were getting a little bit too expensive too at the time. I'm like, okay, maybe dropping like a couple hundred on a Quest 2 would be a financial choice, right? So I do that, and well, now I'm here. So yeah, it was kind of like, this looks really fun. I want to experience that. My friends are talking about these really cool things to do in VR, and a lot of it's kind of barred from people who aren't in like at least half body, right? And it's because like it's just the nature of it. Like, it's VR chat, not desktop chat. So if you want the full experience, you gotta be in VR. So a little bit of column A of just for VR chat, and the other little bit of column B of checking out these other games I thought were pretty cool.
Actually, we had our first like our desktop AOD guy. What was his name? I keep wanting to call him Imagine, but like something Joe. Anyways.
Oh, they showed up for the tryout stuff, right?
Yeah, they were the little cabbage guy.
The duckweed.
Yeah, the duckweed. Yeah. All desktop. Awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We really did a good job. They even had a voice changer on the whole 9. So yeah, you can do it to desktop. It is possible, like, especially nowadays with like the tools like with like go motion and like
if you've got the avatar chops, you can definitely.
Yeah. But yes, no, you're right. It is VR chat, and I mean we are kind of purists with that. To be a player, you kind of have to have VR. So.
Oh yes.
Now, we don't require everybody to have full body, although I think at this point everybody does.
I think.
Oh.
I mean, even I'm using
So
full
there's
body
a
at this
hand-
point.
there-
I think.
I think there's like a hand, like a couple people, like a hand, like here and there that still are in half body.
If anything, I think
would
it's
you like to know
laziness.
something rather neat? So Ascension, when I did the tryouts, was actually the first time I actually got to do full body role play. Like before that, I was still waiting on my base stations to come in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so when I got my base stations in, I already had the pucks, and I'm like, okay, great. might as well put them on, and I did. And I was like walking up to my friends, like moving my legs and doing funny dances and stuff. And now I'm like, now I'm here, and like I get to finally show off my full body with my other stuff.
Let's go. Let's go.
Which is great.
Oh
yeah.
Do you like full body? Like
Which,
you're behaving, right? You said you were a good boy.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes. I do my funny dances, but that's about as much as I do with
Good.
this stuff.
Stay pure.
They keep talking about this thing. I think it stands for exciting roleplay.
Yeah, exactly.
What does it mean? What does the E stand for?
Listen, you gotta learn to wield your sword first. Take lots of HEMA classes.
Ascension Academy does
But
get pretty exciting.
My goodness. All right, Chad, any other questions? Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to start shooting from my hip.
Ask away. Ask away.
Otherwise, I'm going to do my thing. Man.
Like,
Good thing. We can't talk about the plan with this one.
Nah, you're luck out. Normally, we grill everybody with the plan, but you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, we had a pretty dramatic part of the roleplay that we talked to everyone
Okay,
about.
you know what? I'm gonna start. Sorry, here we go. What would you do? Okay.
Mhm.
If you were in an RP scenario where
Wow. Oh.
half of your people say yes to a plan. Okay, never mind. 80% say yes to a plan. No, excuse me. 70% say yes to a plan. 30% say no. And they were really against it. And the plan was you just captured a horrible, horrible bad guy and put him into prison. But you want to release
Because we're
him
just doing this.
and then have him fight you. And then you want to kill him in combat. So then his forces see how weak he is. But your compatriots say, nah, this isn't a good idea. Those 30% was like, maybe that's bad. But then the other 80 was like, nah, we got to do this for the peoples. Who would you side with?
Wait, so he's being released and I have to kill him. What?
You're going.
Yeah,
you
it's
are
being released
you,
so that we
you are
kill
part of a
him
group
out
of
in the field.
You're part of an army that you fought this person. You defeated him and captured him, put him in jail. But then you decide that his army's still outside. You decide that you want to release him, break him out, and then kill him on the field of battle by setting up
So that he looks
the
weak.
pretense so he looks weak. What would you do?
Should I say it in character?
What would you do, red-haired boy?
Well,
Sure, go ahead.
he's being released. Is that what you want him to do? Just so we can kill him in a field? We have him, and we're gonna keep him here. I'm tired of killing people for unnecessary reasons. He's already been defeated. What more do you want?
He's eaten children, killed women, the amounts of murders and bodies stockpiled. You're defending this monster?
He will stand trial like everyone else will.
He's too dangerous behind bars. The damage he can do. We need to act before it's too late. If we don't do anything...
Okay, the full moon is gonna happen.
The full moon. He's gonna get ultimate power, even though we don't know that for sure. How do you know it won't happen?
Then I'll be there
I mean,
to watch him. It might be a dangerous job, but someone has to do it.
You better not
And
stand
I'll
in
be
the
damned
way.
before we start letting people...
Sorry. It's not gonna work out. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, and you better not get in our way.
yeah, this guy got
Doing
his
the right things
he got
not
his
easy.
ass dusted trying to block them from freeing him.
Being the good guy
Doing the
doesn't
right
pay
thing's
off
not easy.
sometimes. I'm just telling you that from experience. All right, how would you sway a 70% that are against you? If they were like an immovable force and they have decided that they're going to do what they're going to do, how would you try to stop them?
Well, I am with just one person, so I'm not going to start just fucking fighting all of them.
I mean, why not? It's perfectly sensible.
Yeah, you sound like you have an opinion here.
Well, hold on. You know what? Okay, here. Let me give it like let's Cameron say this. All right, take it away, Cameron. There's no way I'm gonna be able to stop all of you. But if you do go through me, just remember this. It's not me who will judge you on that final day. But will you be able to stand up and say that everything that you've ever done was justified? You can always keep telling yourself whatever you want, but you know what you did. So, what's it gonna be?
Smack, you turn to the ash. Fast forward 2 weeks later, newspaper comes out, 400, 500 dead. And they say,
Yeah.
it's lies.
Yes. Yeah, so they let him out, and it did so well for us.
Yeah,
It kind of did really bad.
That's why he
Sorry,
was
we
trying
just
to
had to do the
he was
plan. We
trying to
can't just
stop
not do the
them.
plan on this episode. It's just the way it is.
Were
But
you
by the way, we're
also trying
paraphrasing,
to
by
stop
the
them
way.
from letting him out?
Yeah, we were trying to stop.
Oh.
We were trying to stop him. Yeah.
But this does
and
bring
then
up
he
a
let
question.
them out,
Like,
and then everyone dies.
your character's probably black and white, right? Like it's pretty much morally straight, right? And now you get introduced to a world that's ambiguous and gray. And it'll be interesting to see how you would navigate that space. Because right now it's easy to say that I'm going to do what's right. But if the majority wants to do something that is going against your morals and the majority has control, like what do you do in a powerless situation like that? Especially when these people are your friends and we're supposed to be the good guys, right? Like that's when it starts getting interesting, because what is good? What is protection? Are you protecting yourselves or are you protecting the people? Who are the people, right? Who are the enemies? And then it's a matter of perspective. And we do kind of get into some of those kind of topics. I think it's kind of heavy. But
Oh yeah,
It-
like I'm
it
fully
honestly-
aware that might be. Oh yeah.
It honestly blew my mind that anybody thought the plan was a good idea.
Well, you know, it's like that's the thing with my characters. Like I said, like the two biggest things that that Cameron's dad told him that he tries to hold to his heart, because you know he is a very much so like he was like my father was a hero and I want to be like him one day, so I'm taking what he has to say to heart. That kind of thing, where it's like, you know, don't let the world change who you are, and remember what you stand up for. So if that comes to a case where it's like that's his character, he's gonna be like, you might have to get through me, and there's no way I'm gonna be stopping all of you if you truly wish this. But you know, like that's the thing, like he has to stand up for it, because even if it's him against, you know, 100 of his classmates, he's like, I'm sorry, but no, I can't stand for this.
we talk about getting PTSD after going through some things, and like honestly going through that as Chipz was very crazy. Thinking that you're like, this should be a no-brainer, common sense, like morally straight thing to do, like, you know, why would we release someone to kill them, kind of a scenario, and then getting turned to be the bad guy and painted in this brush like you're the problem because you're endangering your friends' lives, you're the issue, and then you're kind of like the black sheep afterwards, and it feels a little weird. And after having going through that, right, like you say your big number, you stand your moral ground, but then they do what they will anyways. It's actually, what's worse is living with what just happened, right? They decided, no, eliminate you. We're gonna actually go through you, toss you aside to do what we think is right. And then you start going down that path of, wow, and this is how bad guys get to where they are. And I'm not saying one side is bad or good. It's just ambiguous, right? It's like what justifies the means? How do you get to the end goal? In which case you're protecting what you are choosing to protect, and right, like it's becomes a matter of perspective. And then those that are in power, or the majority of those that are in power, get to choose that. And it's not just one person and their moralic choices. You could be like, my dad taught me this, and then 20 other more powerful beings, and you say, yeah, human, that's nice. You only got a nice little short. You don't know magic? Oh, that sucks. Get stomped. You really do feel powerless, right? Like you start going, well, shit, it's nice to have these lofty goals and stand for something, but like, what are you? But just a piece. Like, what are you really? What are you worth? Like if your friends choose to just throw you aside.
Yeah, and like in my other role play, my character has gone through something similar to that, which is why, I would say, like, if his father was like, the previous character I played, it would be like he's telling him this stuff because he's like, I didn't want you to go becoming follow my footsteps, but I'm not gonna stop you from chasing your dream. Just understand this: you're going to be getting into a world that you are not prepared for, that kind of thing. I'm like, oh, like that'd be a really cool dynamic where like he's like, young and naive, but he's got, a lot of positivity in him where he wants to see it, but he also knows that not everything's going to fall through to where he needs it to be or that he wants it to be. And that's, just like the risk of being a person who wants to be a leader one day.
So what did your dad do in the lore? What was he?
Oh, so in this war, Cameron's father was a war hero, but there's things that he did that the people don't typically talk about. Cameron heard a lot of the heroics that he did, but he didn't hear about the nitty-gritty. He didn't hear about how he had to potentially execute a prisoner. He didn't have to hear about how there's been times where he had to let a city burn because there was nothing he could have done. He didn't have to hear about how he had to hold in his arms like all these young men who died in his command. And so that's why I was just like, if there was like a scene of it, right? Cameron's father is looking at him and all he could see is the young men that died in his arms when he was leading them. He's just like, if you want to do this, fine, but I'm not happy with it at all.
They ask what war. That's something that I would work with them to. It'd be a CAF conflict that they were going. What region are you guys from? Did you pick one on the map? Or your location?
Not yet. No, not yet.
I still gotta look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because what do you wield? What sword?
I just wield a. So I'm actually playing like when I get my model finally. I'm changing this to not be this. Where is it? Yeah, to be this big thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, given the fact that we are going to be becoming a little bit more of our own than just like starting completely fresh, maybe a more fancier, not more fancier than this, but just like a sword that's probably like, better than just like I thought about just giving him a generic great sword, but maybe give him something a little bit more, I don't know, pizzazz.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of an interesting question. Like, depending on the kind of culture that you're looking for, we have many different culture representations in each of the world, and I would be able to help you with like what area would be most beneficial for you, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Because like I said, like he's a military kid, so he's been around different places and stuff. So he's just been kind of like not exposed to everything, but he's seen what he has, kind of just like surface level maybe.
Fair.
But granted, I kind of use that as almost like a cop out, where I'm just kind of like I don't know much about the world, so I'm gonna figure it out on my own with this way, just so I can learn about the lore secondhand from people who actually speak to me and will actually learn about the world from this. Basically almost like a realistic standpoint, because a guy from like I don't know, like Barbados, and you're like, hey, what's it like over there, right? Or you meet a person from Chicago, it's like, oh, I think I passed through Chicago one time, what's it like living over there, kind of thing.
So this RP, like what do you want to have happen like on a bucket list for yourself? Like, do you want to like, is there anything you want, like not your character's bucket list, because you already told me about that, but like you as an RP, is there anything in VR that you haven't done yet, like fight a dragon, or you know what I mean, like is there a feat that you haven't done yet?
What was it? I think have I talked to you about the dragon stuff that Crimron's done? Yeah,
Oh,
so
no,
like
yeah,
he's
you
already
have.
fought.
Wait, you
like-
have. Yeah, so Crimron is racist against dragons.
No. Okay, so every single time he's encountered a dragon, either A, they're trying to kill him, or B, they're talking down to him because they believe that they're superior because they're dragons. And so he's just kind of like,
I mean, they are.
I'm like, he's like,
They're smarter. Than
I don't like
everybody
it when you
else.
talk to me like that. And you keep acting very pompous, but I just want to let you know I can already see like 7 places I could stab you to kill you really quick, and you're getting on my fucking nerves. He's never said that out loud, but he's just like, I don't want to think this way, but you're making me think this way.
Listen,
with
our dragons have
dragons.
Napoleon complexes.
As huge as they are, they have a Napoleon complex for sure.
Well, ours are actually short. Okay, well, they're not actually.
Well, it's
Oh, thank
complex.
goodness.
They're
because
huge
they're
guys.
yeah.
We diluted their
I
bloodline,
think
and now they're just cute
Linux
little
is like this
Pokemon.
tall, right? Like this tall?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Hand size.
Because like in the other role plays, it's like these dragons like, I've been alive for over 20,000 years. Yeah, and you act like you're 18.
I
Says a
mean,
lot, huh?
dude.
20,000
Now
years
you're
in level 3?
now you're starting
Wow.
to get into my whole thing. I banned long-aged characters long ago. You want to know why? Because no one can play an all-knowing, wise sage that's 2,000 plus years old. Why? Because y'all dumb, me included. There's no way that you could do this in an improv. It's just not gonna work unless you have scripted lines. There's just no way. Okay, sorry. The end.
No, I agree. That's why it's like sort of the joke with my other character where it's like, he found out that he's a Nephilim. Nephilim are like thousands of years old. Like one was like 18,000, he's 19, as in just 19 years old. he's pretty much just like, yeah, I'm just here. I don't know what the hell a Nephilim is. I don't know what any of this stuff means, you guys. I'm just trying to protect my goddamn town.
Fair. I say I like humans. Like, I love fantasy, but I like following humans. Why? Because I identify with them. And so, like, my pro tags, I like to follow humans. Why? Because they are technically the underdogs. You have all these other beings that are, like, badass. Werewolves, ooh, cool. Vampires, ooh, sexy and cool. They're all strong. And then humans, they have to be smart, and they have to have skills. Maybe it's not necessarily strength, but they will have the ability to think around the problem and or finesse the situation. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My preferred
It's
method.
just like
The ingenuity
that's
of
why I've been
humanity.
wanting to just play like a That's why I've been wanting to play like just like a normal human, because like sure my other character is that thing, but if you took away like his like species, he is more or less just a guy. He can just be a human. That's why I like to when I make my characters, I'm like, I don't want their a species to define them. I want themselves to define themselves. Like their stuff might be superfluous to what they are. That's why I'm like, I'll just be a human. Yeah.
Tell him the upgrade that Crimron got for one of the modules. After
Are you talking about his Halo?
The Halo, yeah.
You mean the fact that he can light up an area with a halo?
Yeah, that's the big upgrade, right?
Oh yeah. So that was the thing, like too. Like if I ever make a character go on like a big mission thing, it's really cool. I like to just like the thing he gets is like borderline mundane or just borderline just convenient, where it's just like he went through this whole thing of discovering himself, and he woke in his angelic side, and what does he get? He gets an area light. Doesn't get like bonuses and anything. He just has a halo on his head that can light up an area in the dark, and he can turn it on and off if he wants. That's about it.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
AA humans just become stronger to the point where they can match other races. There's no adaptability. Okay, listen, we're not okay. I was talking about my preferred narrative choice. Okay, Jesus Christ, I'm obviously a vampire, so I'm obviously killing my own narrative choice. What do you want from me? But I'm just saying. Sorry, I'm just arguing with chat. But yes, our humans can get, but they're also at the academy. Our academy is supposed to house the best of the best. So, like the humans in any of the academy is supposed to be like. So it says it's an academy, basically how it works. I don't know if you know. Such academy is like supposed to be our top school for elite officers, you know. And then of course they house the secret of the world, and they were given the secret of the door and the heroes and stuff like that. But yeah, the other schools in different regions, they're all kind of have sister schools, and they all kind of work together to foster the next generation and the magical learnings. You have Asperia, who does most of the tech research, and then you have Shamble, who's more of a traditional mage school, yeah, we have academies everywhere, but yeah, they're everywhere. AA school for NATO, basically.
What's the North school called?
Shamble. Don't ask me to say it. Shamble.
That's a mouthful.
Shamble. It's got to be S-J-O.
that you could say.
Jambel.
Does someone in chat know how to spell it?
Je ne sais. No, just make it sound. That's the thing, in fantasy language, right? Just make it sound vaguely French, and it'll be a new language. Anyways, I was gonna say too. So my friends and I were brainstorming ideas for our characters for being in the north, and we're getting it over here. And one thing I thought would be kind of a neat idea was because his father doesn't want him to be following in his footsteps. He's like, okay, oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, son. Your letter to go to academy was rejected, but you can go to this other one. It's just as good. I've heard great things about it. You'll do fine. Kind of like this. This is the school that, yeah. It's like this is the school that sucks. I don't want my son following my footsteps. Maybe he'll just get burnt out and he'll come back home to be an artist like he wanted to be when he was little.
Well,
or something like
rifling through the mail to take it out. Be like, he needs that going there.
He lied to me. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I lied to you for your own good.
Well, do you have any questions for me, actually, Mush, since you got me here, since we're towards the end?
So I do have a few questions. One of the things is the level of what do you want out of us? Because I know that you saw something in me. But my question is what? Actually, no. Let me start with that. What did you see inside of my performance and stuff like that made you be like, yeah, Mush? Or was it like a vote with other people, or what was going on with that?
First, I want to preface this because this is actually a question I think not just you have asked. I think a lot of people are asking the same thing. And first, to preface all of this, sometimes, and this isn't to say that anybody's better or worse, sometimes I am looking to build a team. It's not about one thing or another. It's not about individual prowess per se. Obviously, we're looking for good RPers, but I'm going to be real with you. Everybody displayed great RP for me. I'm going to be real with you. Everybody was amazing. I enjoyed all their RP, and I would have loved to have made my own RP with them, right? Like that, they were all good enough for me. Like there is no limited bar here. That's not what it is. But yeah, I'm just looking. We have limited slots, and I was just looking for people to fill roles and slots, and so yeah, I just kind of went through the list, squad by squad, and tried to form a team basically that I thought would be a good introduction. But like I told you guys, all in all, you guys were all phenomenal, and I want you to be recurring characters anyway. So whether or not you're quote unquote part of the main, it matters not. We're gonna need all of you, and this next big push is gonna be just like Fallbrook. So it's gonna be a long period of our lives. So like Fallbrook took how long? How long was Fallbrook? 5-6 months?
Yeah,
it was about 5-6 months.
It should have been longer.
Yeah, and we're gonna need you for that long. So I don't know if that's how some RPs don't even last that long. And for me, I'm just going, oh, you guys didn't technically make it to the main cast, but I'm going to need you to play a main character for fucking 5-6 months. So I don't know what you call that, really. So y'all made it in my eyes, like I said. And so as for you, I could tell you what I thought when in the meeting, and I think that's probably the best way to go about answering your question specifically. I thought you had a solid performance. I thought that when you did decide to sing and or do the bard thing, it wasn't overly invasive. So kudos to you, because as a singer, sometimes I find that shit annoying when it's forced down my throat, but when it's done tastefully, I like it. so there you go. There's
Yeah.
that. And yeah, so solid performance, and you come from, okay, so I also look at groups of people too, like groups of individuals, and like, yes, there's a lot of different cliques in RP groups. I don't know if you know this, but like different rings of people know. I didn't even know you knew the Wiffles and the Kinnes. I'm gonna be honest, it's news to me. You came in with a different thing, so I didn't know that. But you came from a different regime, and so like I just like all like getting again new blood in different areas and different RP people in is very, very important to me. So yeah, I know it's a very, very well all over the place answer, but yeah, for you, solid performance, and yeah, like I said, I enjoyed your tasteful. It was tasteful for the singing, so good job.
Oh yeah, that's why because to be honest, I'm very self-conscious of myself, and one of the things I get very self-conscious with is singing. So I thought to myself, okay, the battle's over. We're winding down a little bit. Everything's going here. I'm gonna go over there and just do a little song, because that's what I've been trying to do more, like sometimes. Right? And apparently people enjoyed it, because apparently I didn't know this because I had my nameplates turned off, but someone said he turned around as they were invisible, and I saw like me doing my thing with like a bunch of people surrounding me. I'm like, oh no, I was hoping to be like away from everyone just so I could do that little thing, because that's like a little personal roleplay thing that I've been trying to break out of my mold and stuff like that. Because there's also other things too where it's like with that, like when we're over at the beach episode, I did sing a couple times, but I was making sure I wasn't doing it in front of, like, just trying to be an obnoxious douche about it and stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, you got some pipes on you, but do it tastefully, do it in a spot where, like,
I get annoyed.
If someone comes up and hears it, like,
public singers, I'm like, oh man, too much. But if as long as you do it once in a while, and you're doing more shanty, bardic stuff anyways, so like when you do that type of stuff, it's period type pieces, and less like, hey, I'm doing a pop song in the middle of nowhere just to show off.
I'm not gonna start singing.
Yeah.
It's like it's short and sweet, like with those little sandies. Yes. It's like you do a couple verses and then it's over. You had your little fun.
Yep. Strider says hi, by the way. He wants to make it known.
Hi, Strider. Oh my gosh, that was a really fun thing with just like Strider's character and I, where we just kept bumping into each other throughout the day. And it was great because like we were like, at first we're classmates trying to learn that magic stuff, and that was the fun part too. We're like, we're trying to cast the spell, but because I didn't know anything about with the, like, if I was supposed to like have something happen with the wand, I just like, okay, maybe it's not working. And then he's like, fine, let me try. Okay, this is a lot harder than we thought. It's like, what if we, like, they said work together. So what if we, like, I don't know, like, you put your hands on my shoulders and I try to cast the thing, right? He's like, I hope you're right about this. And so he kind of cowers behind Cameron, and he's trying to cast the, like the fuck off spell to the darkness. It was great. Yeah. But
good stuff.
Yeah, sorry, just wanted to one thing about Strider. Yeah, but yeah, that was like my big question. Like what was what was your reasoning behind like choosing me? But you see a solid performance, so that, yeah. Other thing I was thinking about was like, I know this is a little bit more serious, but like, attendance. Like I currently trying to talk these things about people at my work. Be like, hey, I can't work past 8 p.m. on Saturdays. I'm trying to get stuff working out and stuff like that, especially because I'm a closer all the time. So I'm like, shoot, if I don't get this done, I'm gonna show up like 2 hours late every session. So I was worried about that. I wanted to know about like what is like the expectation and stuff like that.
Showing up 2 hours late will probably hinder you for sure. No, in fact, I know it will. But it's not. How do I word this? For us, we don't like it's not like mandatory to show up, but like after a while, like we're gonna need two people there. If you're late, normally that's fine, but if it's 2 hours every time and we can't get you sometimes, you will find yourself behind. And what I mean by that is like you will feel left behind as a player. You will feel like you don't have all the pieces. You will feel people have solved problems that you were just grinding on the last episode and that you were hopefully hoping to fix, but then they had 2 hours beforehand to fix it for you. So then you're going to come in with the thing fixed, which sucks for the RP, right? Well, sucks for you. With that said, though, I don't know. Obviously, life is life, so do the best you can. And if you can't, obviously, change your schedule. My suggestion then would be look for the important times for when it. Well, shit. I'm trying to think, because coming up, the first 2 hours are going to be kind of important for a lot of things.
Yeah.
It is going to hinder you. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. But we could chat more on that. We don't have to do it on such a public forum. we can touch base about it privately. No, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind working things with you. In fact, I kind of have an idea then if this is the scenario, meaning you can still come and do your thing, but I might have an idea, which will be it's a happy idea for everybody. Let's put it that way. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk after this. I have an idea.
Cool. Well, that's all the questions I really have, So that's
Okay. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much, Mush, for coming out. We're
only 17 over.
No, we're on time because okay, well, technically, yeah, because I accepted you guys late, right? So then now we're like on time for when we started. So 2 hours actually in here. So yay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I could do my scuffed desktop. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming to the podcast today. Mush, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Thank you.
Show him the dungeon.
He doesn't need to see the dungeon unless he misbehaves.
Don't send me to the dungeon.
Good night, everybody. Good night.